This is Over the Rhine, also called OTR. It runs long ways from about Central Parkway to a little bit past 15th Street, and short ways from Washington Park to Sycamore Street. For purposes of this video, I have divided OTR into two different categories, the inner square and the outer square. The inner square is more progressive and has the majority of the restaurants, nice apartments, and shops. The outer square also has some apartments and a convenience store or two, but it is known can also be referred to as the rougher area. The inner square seems to be made up of primarily white people and their ages of about 20 to 30. The outer square is made up of families that are primarily African Americans. The inner square and the outer square can also occasionally be blended. At the beginning of this video, you see the nicer apartments, and then also towards the middle of this video, you can see some of the shops. There are also apartments on top of the shops. Primarily African Americans occupy those apartments above the shops. I was told that those are Section 8 housing. I did notice that there was one church right outside of OTR. However, OTR is more or less of a commercial town that focuses primarily on the shops and restaurants. As you may have noticed in the previous video, the inner rectangle is pretty well kept, and the outer rectangle is not very well kept. However, there is a program called Make Cincinnati Beautiful that paints some of the rundown buildings and helps them look like they're not really rundown. As you will see in the next video, there is not much room for landscape. However, there are some potted plants here and there. There is also some art that is mainly focused on the outsides of buildings. The art in the city shows how progressive and creative the city is becoming. I personally like the art in the city because I think it gives it a unique edge. It also kind of cleans up the place and makes it look a little bit nicer. Next, I want to talk about the people of Over the Rhine for a minute. After all, they are the most important part of the community as a partner model. According to a 2010 census, there are about 6,000 people in Over the Rhine. 3,500 are male and 2,500 are female. There is a very small elderly population. There is a wide spread of people between 5 and 60 years old. There are 1,500 white people, 4,400 Black or African American people, 17 American Indian, and 46 Asian. There are about 2,300 households in Over the Rhine. Of those, 800 are family households. Of those family households, there are only 81 in which there is a male householder and no wife present, but there are 576 in which there is a female householder but no husband present. There are 4,200 total housing units. However, 2,300 are occupied and 1,900 are vacant, so about half of the available housing are vacant. Of the people in Over the Rhine, the median household income is about $15,000. However, there are about 560 people who make less than $10,000 annually. Of the adults in OTR, there are 24 that have less than a 9th grade education level, 376 that have 9th to 12th grade education but no diploma, 370 high school graduates or equivalent, 385 that have some college but no degree, and only 91 with an associate's degree. As mentioned a little bit before, the physical condition of the inner rectangle is well kept and nice. However, on the outer rectangle, there is sometimes trash and evidence of littering, as seen in this video and the next few pictures. I am slightly concerned about the health of the citizens in OTR. They do not have very many hospitals or clinics near them. Their best bet would be to come to UC and either go to UCMC or Good Samaritan, or if they needed mental health services, they would have to go to Deaconess. I did like to see that there were 2 playgrounds in OTR. I think this will help in the fight against childhood obesity. However, convenience stores highly advertise the selling of alcohol, tobacco, and pot products that are unhealthy for the community. The inner rectangle of OTR has a thriving economy, focusing on many boutiques and upscale restaurants. These shops and restaurants attract a lot of tourists. However, it is hard for the citizens of the outside rectangle to afford these things. OTR has gained much of its popularity because of these restaurants and shops. According to the 2010 census, 722 people in OTR do not own a vehicle. With that being said, 645 of them commuted to work using a car, truck, or van. 298 of them use public transportation such as the bus. 166 people walked, and 7 people used bicycles. There is also a streetcar that was just built that the people can use. OTR utilizes Cincinnati Police Department, but there is a fire station right on the outside of OTR. There is little evidence of any political activity, which is surprising to me considering the Black Lives Matter movement. Common places where people like to meet are Washington Park for events such as the flea market, the Finley Playground, and people seem to hang out just around the streets. There seems to be no local newspaper or formal form of communication. There are informal forms of communication in the form of bulletin boards just scattered around town. As you can recall, the education of the adults in OTR was mentioned earlier in this video. The Cincinnati Public Library is located right around the corner from OTR. The School for Creative and Performing Arts is also located in OTR. It is the only school in the nation that allows performing arts education for K through 12th graders. Citizens of OTR have access to Washington Park, Grant Park, and the Finley Playground for recreational activities. OTR also has a popular nightlife with an excess of bars and restaurants. OTR, however, does have a lot of crime that can potentially be detrimental to the health of the citizens. Thanks for watching!